Welcome back to This Week in CA Football. I'm Bobby Broyles along with Rob Washburn. JMU advances to the semifinals of the FCS playoffs for the third time in the last 4 years, and it was led by an outstanding defensive effort, Rob, over Northern Iowa last Friday night.
Yeah, it was a dominant performance by the JMU defense, which recorded the first playoff game shutout in school history in blanking Northern Iowa 17-0. The Dukes held the Panthers to 114 total yards, including 0 yards rushing, and didn't allow UNI to cross midfield until less than 2 minutes remained in the game. Linebacker Dimitri Holloway was all over the field with 8 tackles and a career-high 3.5 tackles for loss. John Daka recorded 2 more sacks and forced a fumble, and Mike Green sealed the victory with a 4th down sack late in the game that gave JMU the ball on the 1-yard line. It wasn't a typical night for the high-octane JMU offense as they were unable to cash in on several scoring opportunities, but behind a gutty 33-carry, 124-yard performance from Percy Obese, JMU was able to control the ball for more than 42 minutes, wear down a very stout UNI defense, and allow the Dukes defense to stay rested. Over the past 2 weeks, we've seen a record-setting performance from the JMU offense in one win and a record-setting effort from the defense in another victory. The ability to win games in a variety of ways is a great sign as they continue on the road to Frisco.
JMU does advance once again to the semifinals where they will square off with a familiar foe in Weber State, and these two teams have a brief but memorable history, Rob, from a few years ago in these FCS playoffs.
Yeah, it was the quarterfinals of the 2017 FCS playoffs, and the two teams delivered one of the top games in Bridgeport Stadium history. JMU trailed Weber State 28-20 with 3:14 to play, but got a 40-yard touchdown pass from Brian Shore to Riley Stapleton with 2:08 to go, followed by a game-tying 2-point conversion run from Trey Sharp. The Dukes defense forced a 3-and-out, and JMU was able to drive the ball into position for Ethan Ratke to kick a career-best 46-yard field goal as time expired for a 31-28 JMU win.
Exciting night that was in Harrisonburg. The Dukes are one win away from another trip to Frisco as we take a look at the matchup this Saturday at 6:30 on ESPNU. Let's begin with the Dukes' powerful defense that was so impressive last week against Northern Iowa and how they stack up against the Weber State offense.
Yeah, JMU's defense has been among the best in the nation all season and currently ranks number 1 in FCS against the run and in fewest yards allowed. But the dominant performance against a quality opponent like Northern Iowa was extremely impressive. It all starts up front with a defensive line that recorded 5 more sacks last week, stuffs the run, and creates constant pressure. That frees up leading tackler Dimitri Holloway and the JMU linebackers to make plays and allows the secondary to play aggressively. One big stat for the Dukes is their 3rd down defense, which is the 2nd best in the nation, and last week held UNI to 2 for 12 in the game. Now, they'll face a Weber State offense that averages 345 yards and 28 points per game. The Wildcats feature a pair of all-conference running backs in Josh Davis, who has rushed for a team-high 1,075 yards and 11 touchdowns, and Kevin Smith, who has 663 yards on the ground. Quarterback Jake Constantine has thrown for just over 2,000 yards and 13 scores, and receivers Devon Cooley and David Ames both have over 50 catches. Now, Weber has scored at least 30 points 7 times and put 29 on the board in a win over Northern Iowa earlier this season, so it's a quality unit.
Yep. As we mentioned earlier, the Dukes struggled a bit on offense last week to finish drives. How does this Dukes offense match up against this tough Weber State defense?
Yeah, as we mentioned at the outset, it wasn't the best night in regards to scoring points for the JMU offense, but give credit to a tough UNI defense along with difficult weather conditions. The Dukes were able to control the ball with their running game as Percy Obese and Juwan Hamilton combined for 186 yards, which marked the 6th straight game that JMU has had at least 185 yards on the ground. Quarterback Ben DiNucci continues to lead the nation in completion percentage, and he hooked up on a scoring pass to Brandon Polk for the 11th time in the past 12 games. Now, the Dukes converted 13 of 24 third downs, which allowed for an incredible 25-minute advantage in time of possession, and that stat will be key again this week. This is a unit that averages better than 42 points per game, and I would expect to see a bounce-back effort on Saturday. Now, however, they will face a stiff challenge against an excellent Weber State defense. The Wildcats are giving up just 336 yards and 20 points per game and rank among the nation's best with 44 quarterback sacks. Defensive end Jonah Williams was the Big Sky Defensive Player of the Year, and the other defensive end, Adam Rodriguez, recorded 4 sacks in last week's win over Montana. Weber is also among the best in the country with 31 forced turnovers, and last week they came up with 5 interceptions against Montana. The Wildcats are accustomed to seeing high-powered offenses in the Big Sky, and they will present a formidable challenge for the Dukes.
Stay with CAFootball.com, folks, for continuing coverage, including links to live audio, live stats, and more from Saturday's semifinal contest.
Yeah, and of course, you can continue to follow the league on our many social media platforms, such as Facebook.com/CAFootball and Twitter @CAFootball using the hashtag CAFB.
That is it from us today. Enjoy the game, everyone, and good luck to the Dukes.